You have a game for me,
I do.
Sam McKee.
It's not necessarily a game, but it's more of a query.
Wish we had the saw. Would you like to play a game?
It's so the Blue Jays bullpen this year has been really good.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you look at where their ERA, just classic ERA, if we're allowed to use that still. Like I don't know. I'm not sure what their xFIP.
I'm not one for canceled jokes, but ERA is canceled.
Okay. It's they're fifth in the league in ERA in the major leagues. So that's not the American League. That's the whole league. They're fifth at 3.63.
I'll take it.
Their K percentage is third at 26.7%.
Seems like a stat that'll play.
But
okay,
I would like to play the trust tree game with you.
Let's.
I will start at the bottom, and it's a pretty easy one here. Mitch White.
No.
Not in the trust tree.
I don't even trust internet rumors about him. I guess in the spot he's asked to be in, I'm fine with them because you're never going to see him in a moment that matters. But like when you say trust tree, do I trust him in the spot he's used in, or do I trust him in a spot that matters? Because those are two very different things.
One. He's just a long man. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he stinks. Okay.
Nate Pearson, trust tree.
1,000%. Ricky's been listening to my pods. He said, we all hear it from Brent Gunning. That I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what he said about guys need the 100-mile-per-hour stuff. Yes, trust him.
Trust him.
You? Okay.
I think he's great. I think he's got nasty stuff, but I think as the games get bigger, it's a big spot to be in. They're leaning on him a lot. Yep. He's pitching a lot of innings. He's always had the injury stuff. Yep. He's just, there's some concern.
Totally.
Trust tree, when he comes out, I feel like he's going to get the outs. I do, but I still always have in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Trevor Richards.
Love the change. Feel great about it.
Full trust tree from me as well.
For sure.
Adam Simber on the IL, but neither of us would say he's in the trust tree.
God, I hate watching. It pains my soul to watch him pitch. Not because of him, just the side, the squeaky, the shoes, the jumping. I just get him out of here.
There's only one guy that I hated watching more pitch, and it was that guy on San Francisco. That was like, it should have been illegal. They should kick him out of the league.
Oh,
the guy was like,
like the underhand scoop, basically.
He was
Tyler Rogers.
Yeah, Tyler Rogers. He was pitching he was basically doing like the all Canada softball pitch. Like it was underarm. I hated it.
Oh, this is the guy who has the twin brother who actually pitches like a real pitcher, or maybe they're not twins, but they are brothers. Trevor.
Really?
Yeah, Trevor. And I remember making this joke with Daniela. We were watching The Good Brother in a game earlier this year, and I said, gee, I wonder who Dad's favorite is. Mom might like them the most, but I guarantee you Dad is like, just give me the guy who throws gas overhand, please.
The underhand junk, that guy should be out of the league. Okay, so I digress. Jimmy Garcia, trust tree.
For me, no.
Yeah, no. Agree. No, that's a no for me. He's just had too many.
Yeah.
Like, he can be really nasty.
Yes.
But, like, it's the inconsistency with him, for me, that scares me. Now, this is one that will be very polarizing because he's been downright excellent this year.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Meza.
Yeah.
It's a tough one.
It's really tough. Yes. Push comes to shove. Yes, God. I think yes. I do. I don't feel great about it, but gun to my head, I do trust him, I think.
He's been just excellent this season. In 30 innings pitched, he's got a 1.17 ERA. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if that's allowed. And he's struck out 32 batters and he's stranded a bunch of runners.
Yeah.
Like his strand rate's really high. He's been really good.
You do not.
No. Every time they call him Mays, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is the one where it starts.
So just so I'm clear.
And a lot of it has to do.
Yeah, of course, buddy, of course.
A lot of it has to do with Seattle.
Yeah, of course. The game that mattered, and it might be not being his fault, but like he is right there wearing it all. Yeah, of course. So just so I'm clear, quick math on this. Mm-hmm. I am at I'm at 3. You're at 2.
Yeah,
because you trust Richards. You kind of trust Pearson.
Yep.
And you kind of trust... No, you don't trust
No
Meza.
Jimmy, no Meza.
Okay, so you're like 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Sick pen, baby.
Eric Swanson.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Would I have traded Teoscar Hernandez more or less straight up for him? Probably not.
No, I would not have
Do
done
I trust
that.
him? Yes.
And the last one, the closer, Jordan Romano.
Have to.
Full trust tree?
Like, if you're asking me, here's the 5 best closers in baseball, you're going to pick him out of the pile? No, I'm not. But yes, full trust tree. Absolutely. It's great stuff. He has the mentality. He has had blow-up moments that have not broken him, and I honestly think that is the biggest thing from a pitcher. He's had bad moments. He has had little weak blips where he's had back-to-back bad moments, and he's been able to shake it off. And honestly, I think for a guy who now has a track record of proving that he's been able to do it, the fact that he's able to shake it off, because, hey, Mariano Rivera blew saves in Game 7 of the playoffs, okay? Yeah. These things happen. So, yes, I think you got to trust Romano.
Yeah, I agree. There you go. So,
fun game.
Thank you. So, when I read out all those names and we talk about our trust level in them, and listen, not every bullpen across the league, all their fans have all guys like this, where it's like
a corner in football. You love to hate one or two.
Or like it's the most, subjective thing where you trust a certain guy more than you do another guy. But when I read out all those names, to me at the deadline, I know this is a really hot breaking take.
Shocking.
But they need a guy with a big arm in the bullpen. They need one more guy.
Yep.
They really do. And it's just so you can bump everyone down a level. You can have maybe an 8th inning guy, a 7th inning guy. I mean, the innings don't necessarily matter.
It's the spot
in the lineup. But to me, they do need to get a guy that can come in a big spot. And I think over the years, like if it doesn't have a ton of contract left, if he's a free agent the next year, they don't cost you an arm and a leg. The Jays don't have a ton of depth to trade from. That's one of my biggest gripes when it comes to the I almost said what era, the Shapiro Atkins era, and I didn't even do it on purpose, it was just together.
Happened, yeah.
And that's one of my biggest gripes is the fact that when they came in here and Alex Anthopoulos had legitimately traded every single person that ever played minor league baseball.
We were talking about the no cupboards earlier. Yeah, very much
everyone was gone. They had no players in their minor league teams. One of their big priorities, remember, they talked about control. They talked about bringing in,
6 years into 42,
building up all. But it's just like Ernie Clement and Nathan Lukes, who actually got a huge hit,
massive knock.
But it's like the contributors on this team are somewhat surprising, and it just shows you what little they have to trade from. So they're going to have to get super creative at the deadline when it comes to this. But they absolutely need another bat, and they absolutely need another bullpen arm. I really don't think they need a starter. If Ryu's going to come back, if Ryu's going to come back and give you some semblance of length, you can put him out of the pen, you can put him out of the start for some length, you can piggyback him, you can do him as an opener, whatever you want to do. Manoah kind of finds it. We don't know. I mean, the Tigers rot, so it's hard to take a ton of. But I mean, he also gave up 11 runs to a Florida Gulf Ghost League team, whatever. I do think that this deadline, the Jays can put themselves in a better position with a bat and an arm, and they're in a playoff spot. Like, I'm feeling somewhat encouraged about their chances at making one of these games, at least the wild card series. Like, they really are in a good spot right now, so they got to push forward. Their window is not that big.
So when you look at the starters, I'm with you. The thing I will continue to hammer home until I'm blue in the face, and I understand it's a hard thing to prioritize because typically these guys are just players who you had higher expectations for that don't work out. This is a revolving thing. This is a problem for this year. It's going to be a problem next year. You cannot go into next season with the exact same scenario where you have literally 5 starters and that's it. You have to find a way to build up some more depth there, but that is not the thing you need to do now.
But not a ton of teams have MLB level guys in the minors.
No, but I mean, even like there were not even the idea of Trent Thorntons and Thomas Hatches running out. Like even those types were kind of not filtering around this year.
Touch and go with those guys.
Just a bit. So again, I'm not asking for like old Jays farmhand Matt Boyd to be the 6th starter rotting down there in AAA. I understand how these things work, but it does need to be addressed. In terms of the bullpen thing, I think if you are a team that expects to win, hopes to win, is trying to win, however you want to phrase that, that's the bare minimum. That is the minimum order. It's like, you'll call a place for delivery. It's like, okay, we will deliver it. It's like, if you are a playoff team, at the absolute minimum, you go get a freak who throws 100 to just throw in the mix. Yeah. Maybe they matter, maybe they don't. The problem I have with adding the bat, and I have no problem with it, you want to go out there, one, you said it, they have no capital really to trade from within, and I still don't know necessarily where you put him, right? Brendan Belt, we know up and down, it's going to go how it's going to go. I don't think it's going to be so putrid that you're trading for a new DH at the deadline. And again, that's a rotational position for the Jays because of Vladdy, because of Springer, all that. Kiermaier's been so important in center field. Varsho, obviously, part of the plans. You're not going to replace him unless you're doing something where you trade out Matt Chapman and then bring in a bat, but you're losing Chappie, and then that doesn't help you at all there. So that is the thing I keep bumping up to against this team, is if you do want to add a bat, because again, reliever is the most obvious thing. Starter they do not need. Would love a thumper in the lineup. Maybe somebody who, I don't know, Teoscar Hernandez, for example, if you have him sitting there.
How about a right-handed power bat? It's like the opposite conversation of the last year.
For 2 years now.
It's like lefty bat. But if they, God, it's just that, Lourdes would be a perfect kind of part-time guy on this team where he doesn't have to play the defense that often. And I probably couldn't have gotten out of that trade without giving him up. And I actually like Varsho, and I like a lot of what Varsho does, but it's just so hard to not look at Varsho through the sphere of that trade. And if you have Gurriel, and you had traded Teoscar or vice versa, you would have kept one of them. It's amazing how much better of a spot offensively your team would be in. Like, it really is. And it's just, I get why they reacted. I do. I really do get it. But it was a miscalculation. It was a mistake. They traded Teoscar way too early, and they traded too much to get Varsho.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, too, is that when you look at the team and the idea, because again, this is an idea that popped up at times this year, is that they don't take it seriously enough, or it's too loose. You could not find a better guy to be the sacrificial lamb than Mr. Cocktails on the bench himself, or Mr. I forgot to wear my sunglasses in Gurriel and Teoscar Hernandez. So again, understand, but yeah, I'm right there with you.